Hello, everyone. Welcome to M the Ambassador. I'm your host, M, and today we will be talking about the Super Mario movie. Now, first and foremost, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Sorry about that. I kind of messed up there, but honestly, it is what it is. So, first and foremost, I guess my experience with First things first, let me just pop out chat. It kind of have a weird system here. Sorry. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, there we are. So I guess coming back first and foremost, my experience with the Mario franchise. I played the hell out of Mario Galaxy when it came out on the Wii. So it's not like the Mario franchise is one that eludes me per se, perchance. But in all seriousness, though, I really enjoyed that game. And I'll be honest, I didn't hate the first Super Mario Brothers movie. I thought it was really well done. Okay, here's the thing, though, right? It's one of those things where, look, I know this is going to be kind of a weird, like, thing to kind of start a review off with, but I feel like it does need to be kind of said, right? I hope that any criticism I have of this movie, just note that I already know what a lot of the counters are going to be. Oh, it's just a kids movie. Oh, it's just a fun. Oh, we just hate fun. Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't The Godfather for you. I'm sorry, it's not the fucking great. It's not the fucking your indie animations. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not. You know what I mean? I just know it's going to be a lot of smug. I just know that there's going to be like any criticism I have of this movie. I already know there's going to be a lot of like, I'll be honest, defenders out of there trying to make me feel like I'm an idiot for saying that just because something's a kids movie doesn't mean we should lower our standards. Like, here's the thing though, I always kind of come back to the kids movies I was growing up with. Movies like The Incredibles, Ratatouille, which, listen, I'm not going to pretend that it's going to have the. Well, here's the thing, though, right? It's not going to be as explicit as movies like The Godfather or Saving Private Ryan or other or something like even The Dark Knight, right? I don't think I could in good faith say that, listen, it's going to tackle a lot of things with the same amount of quote unquote maturity as those movies, right? But I would argue it's more out of explicitness, right? Because look, I would actually argue that there are plenty of rated R movies that are more immature than a lot of kids' movies. The big one I think of is the Deadpool franchise or Free Guys. Free Guys was the movie with like Ryan Reynolds, right? Actually, a lot of Ryan Reynolds movies now that I think about it. But look, I guess my point is, right, that just because this is a kids movie, ostensibly made for kids, doesn't mean that I think we should lower our standards. Likewise, just because, let's say you do, like, another thing is, oh, well, this was made for the fans. Yeah, do you think that there are no critics who. Do you think there's no movie critics that are fans of the Mario games? I mean, the Mario games are pretty multi generational. I mean, to put this into perspective, right? I think to put this into perspective, right? I grew up around, or I grew up in the year 2000. I think the first console I had was, I think, a Game Boy Advanced. So my first real Mario exposure would be, I think, Yoshi's Island on the Game Boy Advance, right? Like the port of the NES game. Or sorry, SNES, I meant to say. Likewise, I also then played Mario Galaxy a lot on the Wii when it came out, okay? And then I played a lot of Mario 3D World on my 3DS growing up. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that I'm not. It's not like I don't hate. It's not like I hate Mario going into this, right? That said, I'm also not a mega fan of it. I enjoy Mario, I think, kind of in the same way that a lot of people have. I grew up with the games. I play like maybe some of the like Smash Brothers, for example. I play that in the sense of it's a fighting game that I enjoy, or Mario Kart, you know. But the mainline Mario games, I tend not to play that much. So I don't think it's out of the question. So it's not like one of those things of I'm out of touch that I don't understand like what would make me enjoy something like a Mario fan. You know what I mean? But I also think that there is kind of some things to say about fandom culture, right? Especially Nintendo fans. Look, as much as we could respect Nintendo for their game, well, how good their games are, you had to. Oh, I guess my point is, like, even if you're a fan of this, of the Mario games, I don't think you have to therefore throw away a lot of your, you have to throw away any critical thinking, right? Likewise, and I know what you're gonna say, right? And I think I kind of said that about the kids' movies sort of thing argument, right? Where it's like, look, I don't think we need to throw away any critical thinking because it's a kids' movie. And you know what the biggest irony is? I didn't hate this film. I actually really liked a lot of aspects of it. Although I also realize it's the same aspect of it that I like. Like it's the same aspects I like. That I'll be honest, I could kind of get from like YouTube, if that makes any sense. Right? Like, oh, if I wanted just really good animation, there are some really great animators on YouTube nowadays. Do I just want to see a bunch of references to Mario? I could, well, one, either be playing the video games, or I could go on YouTube and just look up Mario animations. Once again, very talented Mario animators out there. Likewise, I'd also just say this though, as a fan of show, and look, I feel like I want to once again come down to this though, right? I kind of feel like it seems like a lot of fans who then get mad at the critics who don't like this movie end up coming back to is it feels like you think you're being incensed because they don't like it. That they're mocking you. Well, it's okay, some of them are mocking you. I'm not going to deny that. But let's just say they were only attacking the product made, right? You know, I think it's not too crazy to say that. Let's say they're mocking, the Mario movie. I don't think you therefore have to see it as a mockery of you, okay? Look, I'm a big fan of Has Been Hotel. I literally went to a convention. Mind you, it was a local one, but I went to a convention, right? Because the voice actor for Alistair and Angel Dust were signing autographs there. I literally blew hard-earned money to go see them and to go see a panel of theirs. And look, I go on TikTok, like every brain-rotted asshole, and I see people make fun of Has Been Hotel. Do I take personal offense to that? Hell no. And mind you, I really like Has Been Hotel. I actually even respect Spindlehorse as a studio. In the sense that I think it's been very influential in animation and in the industry. And look, I can even say I actually respect Illumination as a studio. Apparently, according to many of their animators, it is actually a really good studio to work for. They treat their employees well. And I mean, it's one of the few mainstream studios I could think of that has taken a staunch anti-AI stance. Now, to be fair, I don't know if they've reversed that or if Universal itself is anti AI. But I do think it says a little bit that unlike Disney, they're not. They literally didn't try to acquire slop, the slot machine Sora 2. Okay? Although, honestly, when I heard Sora 2 died, unironically, I ended up playing Ding Dong the Witch is Dead from the Wizard of Oz, which, to be fair, you might say that is petty. You know what else is petty? How many pro AI people are. Okay, I feel like a lot of pro AI people, they tend to be like, I don't know, I've never met someone who has been viscerally pro generative AI who wants to replace artists who wasn't the pettiest person ever. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. But sorry, I kind of went on this really big tangent here. It's just that I do think some of this needs to be said. I listen, even though I guess I'll kind of spoil what my rating is right now. It's a matinee, kind of bordering on a rental. Like, to be fair, it fluctuated. Look, when I was pandered to very well, a part of me wanted to say a high matinee. When I wasn't pandered to well, I wanted to say closer to a rental. So, I'm not going to pretend like I'm above this consumerist, pandering, jingling the keys mindset, okay? But I'm also self-aware enough to realize that doesn't make a good movie, okay? References to games I like doesn't make a good movie. References to IPs I grew up with don't make a good movie. And I'll be honest with you, mind you, mainstream actors that I like do not make good characters. Now, I'm not saying that these are... Okay, you know what? I'm going to try to structure this a little better. So I guess, I think I've already been a little critical already, so I'm going to start off with the positives I've seen from this movie. First and foremost, the animation is genuinely really good. Gorgeous, even. Say what you will about Illumination. Although I wonder how much of it was also Nintendo. But I really do think when they put a lot of effort into an animation, it looks really good. They got really top. Listen, say what you will about Illumination, they have top tier animators working there. They have really good animators working there. So it's not like there's no talent that went into this. It's very well done as well. And I'll also say this, I think some of the incorporation of the Mario iconography, such as the music, the sound effects, and the creatures, I thought was done somewhat decently. I do think sometimes it does sort of come off like a needle drop. Like just a needle drop to get you to go like swaying out in the theater. But likewise, I also do think that some of it was okay. The voice acting was also pretty good. Look, people have already made fun of Chris Pratt already. So it's not like it's unique to make fun of his voice acting. But I mean, here's the thing though, he's okay as a voice actor. I don't think it justified how much of it. I don't think he was maybe the right. He was an okay choice for Mario. I think there might have been better choices. Although, then again, I know some people wanted the original voice actor to go for Mario, but I'll actually defend that in a sense, because here's the thing though, we're talking about someone who's going to be speaking for a majority of the lines in his, in the movies, right? Who's going to be doing an active speaking role. And look, I love Chris Martinet, if I'm correct, that's his name. I think he's a really good voice actor. In fact, he's done really good voice acting in other roles. But I think his voice for Mario, now to be fair, I think after a while it would have gotten grating, okay? Plus, I mean, it's already, we're in his second movie, and Chris Pratt has done fine. It's kind of one of those actors where I can't, look, I think when he's casted well, I think he really does dig in. He does really elevate a character. But I think the issue is he's been casted in so many roles that I just don't think people use him to his strengths. Or they end up just making him the same character over and over again. That Star Lord character archetype. But for this movie, it was fine. And I do think the rest of the voice acting was great. That said, here's the thing though. As someone who has played Mario Galaxy for the longest time when he was a very young kid, it's funny that the video game that came out in 2007 on the Wii has more cinematic moments in it. And I mean, even during gameplay, right? I think it says a lot that it has more cinematic moments in it than the actual fucking movie. Which, look, you could say, well, what do you mean by that? I don't know. I think there is some part. I think the best way to put it would be they talk a lot, okay? And look, I'm not against speaking in films. No. Listen, if I wanted to be against talkies, I mean, my fucking career would not make sense. But also just that, let's be real, I've lost that debate fucking decades ago. A century ago, practically. But what I mean is, I think of the films I grew up with where they allowed some moments of quiet, some moments of reflection, some moments of just to kind of take it in, right? In this movie, it kind of just feels like they can never let someone just pause. They can never let someone just stop talking. There's always constant talking. And not in a way, and the funny thing is, for a grand adventure like this, I do think there should be moments where there's no at least little to no dialogue, and just let let the cinema speak for itself, let the animation speak for itself, and I do think it gets there sometimes. Although, ironically enough, it's when it, like, I think the closest one I saw was when Princess Peach and Toad used one of the warp stars. The stars in, like, Mario Galaxy, where it launches you to a new planet, right? And the funny thing is, even I would say that, like, besides the little noise that Mario does, a lot of those just let the music, the atmosphere speak for itself. Let you really grasp the idea that this is a huge galaxy that you're traversing in. While in the movie, there's always got to be there just has to be something always, They can't just let a moment for silence, a moment for that. I also just think that, I'll be honest, when I bring up its music, I really do think that I feel like one of the best exemplars of where I do think it just doesn't, where I do think it's just kind of become like, I just think that, like, where I don't think they let the moment speak for itself, I think was when Yoshi was first, like the first montage with Yoshi, right? And I'm pretty sure most critics have already called this out, was when they did the instrumental to Hypnotize by Biggie Smalls, or Notorious B.I.G., right? And the thing is, it's like, listen, I get it. He was a New York rapper, and it's about this, it's a scene where Yoshi is walking through New York and all that. I don't know. I just feel like that's not really a great needle drop to have. And I'll be honest, I feel like I also just don't know if it really worked well for the tone of the shot. I really do, or the tone of the montage. I think there could have been better tone setters. Like I said, I wish I could come up with a better way to describe it, but I just think that it's just, I don't know, it just felt not only abrupt, but unnecessary. Also, what does Hypnotize have to do with Mario? I do know that, like, Biggie Smalls did have a song where he goes, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. But I mean, that's, you know what I mean? It's just him talking about all the game, like, the fact you could buy this stuff, you know what I mean? Hypnotize, it's literally about, hey, I am so smooth with the ladies, I fuck them. You know what I mean? Well, did Yoshi? Although to be fair, I mean, given Yoshi's powers, maybe someone's getting hard by the thoughts of Yoshi. But you know, it is what it is. Also, yeah, as I think it kind of says a little bit that my notes, like when I was taking my notes for it, right? I was kind of trying to go with the idea of like, okay, you know what? Honestly, it says a lot that when the movie started, right? I was actually trying to think about it more critically while it was going on. Honestly, by the time Yoshi came in, or I don't know, I feel like there was a point where I just kind of got distracted, honestly. And all I was just thinking was, yep, this is a movie that jingles your keys, that jingles the keys for the audience. Oh, hey, Star Fox is there. Listen, I love Fox McCloud. I love Star Fox, okay? I played the hell out of Star Fox 64 as a kid, okay? Because my brother had a 64. Hell, in fact, I actually played it on the 3DS. I played the hell out of that game. And look, I actually really like the sequence where they introduce Fox McCloud. I like that part where it goes 2D animated, bordering on kind of an anime aesthetic. I also really like, like I said, the animation in this movie is really good. It's just that it's pretty, but it's a little shallow, you know. Honestly, I kind of feel like another exemplar is just how unfocused this movie feels like, because the way it describes itself, it's like, oh, this is a Mario Galaxy movie, a Super Mario Galaxy. But then you have like, oh, enemies from like Mario 2. And I mean like the original Mario 2. And you got the Odyssey, you know, like the Sugar Skull people from Odyssey. And it's like, honestly, I think it was just, honestly, I kind of felt it was weird when they announced Super Mario Galaxy coming out, right? As a movie. Because I was thinking, okay, you started with Brothers. Why not go to World, you know? One, it'd be the logical step you go to it. And honestly, given how this movie is, it kind of felt like it wanted to do more of an Odyssey/World crossover, if that makes any sense, you know? Where it just expanded the Mario world. Which, to be fair, I think they could have done that. Because, yeah, they had, you know, I don't know, I just felt like that could have been a bit more interesting. And honestly, given how much they because here's the thing though, when I think about how much the actual Galaxy part of the Super Mario Galaxy movie is used, it's actually kind of little. Like, okay, maybe the main villains, they do have a lot of it, but really, you could have replaced, like, besides them having a spaceship, you could replace that with something else. Like, I don't know, just a moving kingdom, a flying kingdom, a flying base. In fact, I've seen that in, like, Super Mario 3DS, or, like, Super Mario 3D Land. So it's like, what about it? You know what I mean? And I guess my thing is that it sucks how little they use Rosalina, because I thought she was a very interesting princess in Mario Galaxy. But I also, you know, in fact, she kind of gets turned into a bit of a MacGuffin. Honestly, I really do think a part of me wonders if they only added a fight scene with, like, one of the bosses in Super Mario Galaxy. You know, one of the bosses versus Rosalina, just so that way it doesn't get accused of sexism. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, she kind of just acts as a MacGuffin. Honestly, she could be replaced with one of the Lumas. The star people, you know? She can be replaced with a fucking book. She can be replaced with a goddamn ball of infinite power or whatever. So, you know, it's like, what was the... I don't know. I guess that's kind of what I'm coming back to. It's like, it feels like what would make this a very interesting Galaxy movie, like Super Mario Galaxy, it just doesn't do a lot with the franchise. Except, oh hey, we got Fox McCloud. Oh my god, we got, you know what I mean? It's like, look, I kind of hate the term member berry. I feel like it's become a very lazy shorthand for a lot of critics nowadays. But I really do think there is a time where you gotta say, no, yeah, member berry. Oh, remember this, remember this, remember this. And the thing is, it's like, do kids actually remember this? Mind you, I grew up with Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy, on the Wii. Okay, I know they made ports of Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Switch. We gotta admit, though, it's like, okay. And look, I think kids are more familiar with Odyssey. So why not go with Odyssey and maybe add in smaller elements? In fact, I actually kind of thought it made more sense in the first Mario movie where one of the one of the prisoners for Bowser was a Luma. And also kind of a bit of a nitpick. Well, actually, no, I feel like it is kind of emblematic. I think about what they do with the Lumas in this. That's sort of emblematic, right? They're not unique to their own selves. They're kind of just accelerate. They're kind of just meant to be just tied into Galaxy. But not in an interesting way, just in a way that is where you just only recognize them because of the character design. And not in a good way. Honestly, I kind of hated that they gave all the Lumas kind of baby voices. Not because, I find kid voices annoying in general, but just more in the sense of, I always found it charming is that they spoke in this way, right? With the noise they make. And look, I get it. Maybe for a movie, it would make sense for some of the Lumas to speak. But I do think it's a little emblematic about this movie, is that it's not just a unique thing to certain Lumas, all Lumas speak. So instead of having, once again, instead of allowing maybe a character that, and I know Yoshi kind of does act like that, but kind of barely, Like maybe instead of a character that can't speak, they have, you know what I mean? Because I feel like with speaking, they could just get things done faster as opposed to doing something more creative. I think that's it. A lot of the decisions made feel less out of creativity and more out of what could we sell? What could we make? How can we represent the franchise well? And you know what the funny thing is? I think this is why, weirdly enough, I think as the years have gone by, people have appreciated the Sonic movies a lot more. As flawed as the Sonic movies are, as flawed as the Sonic franchise itself is, I'll be honest, I think it says a lot that I feel like there are a lot of people who become fans of Sonic who may not even be gamers, who may not have played a lot of his games, but probably watch a lot of his media and how much influence that media can have on the games. Versus here, where it kind of feels like Nintendo wants it to be very pristine. It's the debutante. Hey, if you're gonna film my daughter, make sure she looks good. Rather than Sega, where I think they kind of go with with the Sonic movies, like, you know what? We do what you want to do with it. Be creative with it. You know what the worst part is? As critical as I am, I can't say I had a bad time. I enjoyed the movie. But I feel like it's one of those things where I can only really say it's a matinee. Like, it is the purest matinee that I could think of. Where it does enough right where I can't be mad at it. And look, I always think about what it takes. I think I sometimes always bring up why matinee is my go-to, right? Because I think about what you had to, because it's Saturday today, right? And I think about what it means when I say matinee or discount. It's, you get, there's the bare minimums you gotta do when it comes to going to the theaters, right? And I do think this movie does do enough of the bare minimum of entertainment to do that, right? Which is, for a matinee movie, I don't feel annoyed that I had to take a shower, I had to get dressed, I had to comb my hair, I had to drive, Which, given the fucking prices of gas nowadays, I actually do think it is a little bit much to ask people to drive to a fucking movie theater, pay money to buy a ticket, and let's be real, if you're bringing your kids with you, you're gonna get candy and fucking popcorn. The thing, and let's just say you get a fucking bottle of water. That shit nearly costs more than the goddamn tickets, but that's beside the point. And then, you go into the movie theater. You had to deal with some fucking annoying ass kids who cry, who say stupid shit. It's like, God damn it, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch a movie. Where was I going with this? Look, all I'm just saying is it's an entertaining enough movie for me to deal with this bullshit, okay? But I also think it's one of those movies that annoys the hell out of me because of how critical I've been. I know someone's going to bitch at me. Oh, you just hate fun. No, I don't hate fun. In fact, I literally, in my college, right? I literally represent a fucking club for gamers, okay? And we have fun, okay? And I try to make things fun at the club, okay? Oh, you just hate the Mario franchise. No, I don't. I actually really do enjoy the Mario franchise. I like Mario Kart. Listen, I grew up with Mario to a lesser extent than Sonic, I'll admit. But look, I'll be honest, there was a lot. Listen, I was someone who was really ready to be pandered to as a fan of Galaxy. That is literally one of my favorite Mario games. And yet, even I think this movie actually misrepresented the game that much. I think it doesn't do enough to represent that game well. Oh, so you're just mad that it doesn't represent the game well. You're mad that it's not a one-to-one adaptation. Actually, I would hate it if it was a one-to-one adaptation. But I also just think that it's bizarre that I genuinely think it's kind of bizarre that it decided to go this route for its second movie when it seems like it wanted to do more of a Mario world rather than a Galaxy. And I really do think the only reason why they went for the Galaxy route is just to get a bunch of other IPs into the Mario movie franchise. Which, look, if that's the goal, okay, but I don't think there are better goals to be there. Oh, this is a kids movie. Why do you care? I grew up with some of the best kids movies out there. And look, I'm not saying that all kids movies had to be on the level of Incredibles, Ratatouille, WALL-E. But I do think that, but that doesn't mean I think therefore it has to always be slop, okay? And look, sometimes I like slop. I love slop is literally a catchphrase I do sometimes when I watch fucking, I'll be honest, a lot of live streamers, so I'm going to be real with you. And a big reason why is just because sometimes you do need to say that, okay? That doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean that you always want to watch slop. It just means that you're honest with yourself. I also do think if someone calls this bad, someone calls it slop, then you know what? I don't get offended by that. Listen, I know you're not trying, listen, I know people who are offended by that idea, right? They're, when people negatively review a thing they like, I know they don't want the government to, fucking shove the pear of anguish up their dick or whatever, right? I understand that. But I do think it says a lot about your reaction when someone just says, I don't think the Super Mario Galaxy movie is that great of a movie, is that you think it's a personal attack on you. You know what I mean? Overall, I think this was a matinee, but kind of a begrudging one. Because at the end of the day, is this the most artless thing I've seen? No, I've seen artlesser. Honestly, the Sing movies are worse movies made by Illumination. So, honestly, if it were between watching the Sing movies and this, I'd much rather watch this movie, okay? That's just the reality here. But I also don't think it's one of the great movies, and honestly, I really hope that even if this is successful, that it only inspires someone to do something greater with the IP rather than just rest on the laurels of they're going to watch it because they're familiar with it. Well, what do you think? I had my opinions of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but what did you think? Do you think it was a good movie? Do you think it was a crap movie? Let me know. And hopefully when I do my trailer reactions later, I don't get equally mad.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Now to pause and refresh. For your convenience, we have an attractive refreshment stand in the lobby with buttered popcorn, golden good and hot from the popper, your favorite candies, wholesome and rich with a flavor treat for every taste, ice cream and other good things to eat, plus delicious Coca-Cola. So bright and bracing with the tang and tingle unmatched by any other beverage. Enjoy ice-cold Coca-Cola at our refreshment stand right now.
this way, just step right into the greatest show on earth. In the center ring, our top attraction, your money's worth. Come see the dancing elephants, the biggest thing on wheels. Ah, the little boy's first circus. I wonder how it feels. With wonder does this magic land fill his whitened eyes. Look now, there the zebras. This show's a real surprise. The polar bears arrive on cue. On bikes they sally forth. They're mighty cool, but then it's true. They're from the frozen north. And now the clowns will stop the show with your most kind permission. A rocket blast so you will know it's time for intermission.
Nine minutes to go to showtime.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a private mountain.
But I only wanted it.
This mountain is reserved for patrons of drive-in theaters.
But
it's a supply depot for all sorts of good things, which people can get at the snack bar, like soft drinks, hot dogs, good hot coffee, candy bars of all kinds, delicious popcorn, and refreshing ice cream treats.
But I am a patron of this drive-in.
Well, why didn't you say so? Be our guest.
Minutes to go to showtime. It's time to stretch and fetch. See what's cooking at our refreshment counter. You'll find your favorite foods and beverages, plus many new goodies to tempt your appetite and add to your evening's pleasure. Everything's the finest quality. So treat yourself now. How about a pizza? None better anywhere. Sizzling hamburgers grilled to your taste. Try a terrific hot barbecue sandwich. Crispy hot fresh French fries. Seven minutes to go to showtime.
Ach, hello there. Give the demonstration of my new invention, the Goodies Machine. Special for patrons of this drive-in, the machine turns out delicious hot doggies one after the other. And thirst-quenching sodas also. Gives popcorn of the most tasty kind, plain unbuttered. Candy too, crunchy and dandy. Steaming hot coffee and ice cream too. These goodies are at a snack bar just waiting for you. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.
6 minutes to go to showtime. We've a large assortment of freshly made sandwiches. Mouth-watering chili dillies. Sparkling soft drinks. Popcorn rich with hot melted butter. Steamed or grilled hot dogs. All kinds of candy. Minutes to go.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
There, and I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Faith, and there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here now.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream, piping hot coffee, delicious hot dogs. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar of their drive-in theater.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
4 minutes to go to showtime. It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now.
The crowds are thinning out at the snack bar, folks, and there are still 3 minutes till showtime. You can easily make it for something that'll just hit the spot. How about it? Don't waste a second of refreshment time. You'll find such an appetizing assortment of refreshments at the snack bar, you won't be able to decide what to ask for first. All of your snack bar favorites are there, including fresh peanuts, hot popcorn, and candy of all kinds. And believe us, you've never eaten better hot dogs, crisper French fries, or more delicious buttered popcorn. Minutes to go to the snack bar for a quick refresher before showtime. No crowds to buck, just go get it. You'll be sorry you missed your chance to enjoy some of the many tempting goodies waiting for you. Stretch your legs now while the stretching's good. There's still time to get a mouth-watering hot dog, a sparkling ice-cold soda, assorted flavors of ice cream, all kinds of candy, the most delicious steaming hot coffee you ever drank, and freshly popped popcorn piping hot. Make a beeline for the snack bar right now to quench your thirst. One minute left to top off the evening with a treat from our snack bar. Still time if you hurry. Last call for refreshments, folks. Go right this second to get something good to eat and drink to enjoy now or during the rest of the show. The finest quality ingredients are in the fixins of the delicious foods you'll find waiting to tempt your appetite at the snack bar. Extra special good hamburgers, wonderful donuts, ice-cold thirst-quenching drinks. Pizza generously sliced, steaming hot, fresh coffee, ice cream in many flavors.
Hello, welcome back. Also, all right, so we're now on to the trailers reactions portion of this fucking place. So let's go. So yeah, okay. So first and foremost, well, I really don't see any time why there should be time to dilly dally. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this do it. So first and foremost, God, I just remembered I forgot to do that for the rest of the fucking trailers. Son of a bitch. All right, let's go.
Doug, I gotta let you go, brother.
Why?
Straight up, you've gotten pretty weird, man.
Yo, we need to talk.
Oh shit, is that the guy from wait, no bad. Oh yeah, is that the guy from like Peacemaker? Like Peacemaker's dad? Holy shit. Sorry, that has caught me off guard. That's a
To talk. You owe me $3,000.
You gotta make a decision right now, okay?
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't done anything.
Doug, you need some help, man.
What happened, Doug?
Just been a bit of a bump.
okay. Yeah. Isn't this a lovely image to isn't this a lovely fucking image to pause on? But that's beside the point. So I'm guessing like what I'm getting from this movie is that it's about this guy who's, I'll be honest, kind of just like, kind of what I've noticed with a lot of indie horror comedies is just kind of going insane, honestly. There's nothing wrong with that. I like a good insane man movie. It's just, you know, and I'm guessing maybe he's gonna try and drown himself, become a mermaid or some shit. Mermaid, I don't fucking know. Who knows, maybe he'll try to invert it. I'd much rather be an inverted mermaid, not gonna lie. I mean, I'll be real with you. I feel like if you pay, I think I'd much rather be an inverted mermaid just because it's like, I don't know how to put it. I'd keep my wang. There we go.
Did you know that the ocean is 71% of the Earth's surface? It is said that humans have only discovered around 5% of it, which leaves lots of room for imaginations to run free.
Doug.
Daddy, don't go!
Doug.
Why?
Is that a fucking monkey? Oh, I wonder if the mermaid that he's gonna see is like one of those ones that are like. Hold on, let me look it up. There was like an older one. Hold on, let me look it up. Monkey. I mean, it was a hoax, but I mean, it would be kind of interesting to kind of see like if they actually tried making this a real thing. Yeah, this thing. Oh fucking hell, this is disturbing as fuck. Sky show this on you. Yeah, you know, fucking I already am. But no, this does look kind of cool. But yeah, you know, I think that would be kind of an interesting take on the on the whole thing.
Why can't you just stay?
Because Daddy's got to go save a mermaid.
Mike's hot. Let's give him a show.
I was wrong.
Gentlemen, feast your eyes and grab onto your sets. You're about to witness aquatic history.
I have no idea what happens next.
You know, I was actually going to make a reference to the one of the guinea pig movies. Hold on, there was like a guinea pig. It's like a guinea pig movie about a mermaid. I remember there was like, now mind you, I didn't see the movie. I've seen a review of it though. Oh yeah, it was a mermaid in the manhole, right? I'll be honest, when I saw like it was meant to be like a horror comedy, I legitimately actually I kind of wonder if they're gonna do something similar here. Although, if you've ever seen one of the guinea pig movies or know about their reputation, not exactly, that'd be interesting to adapt. Honestly, kind of the kind of movie, kind of fucked up I'm interested in. But always the cardinal sin of this not always the cardinal sin of this goddamn channel is rare, unless it's an animated kids movie, is for some reason, all the trailer reactions I ever do, I never watch the movie. Mostly because they're, I don't know. Mostly because I'm one man. Like, if this was my full-time job, I'd watch all these movies. But I mean, I got shit to do, you know? Also, I'm not one who likes it when they do stuff like this, where they make, like, the, copyright, like, Roman numerals. To be fair, I don't know what this says. For all I know, it could say, go fuck yourself. But, you know, 'tis what it is. I think that's it. So, yeah, honestly, the mermaid looks... there we go. Or, I guess mermaid, not the mermaid. But mermaid, the movie, whatever the fuck they call it, I think it looks very interesting. I would be very interested to watch it. You know... I don't know. I think I'd be very interested to watch it. It looks like a lot of... It looks interesting. I think that's what I'm going to say. It looks interesting, and I do think it can be a... I think it's going to be I think it could be an interesting watch. Hopefully it doesn't kind of turn into a lot of A24 slop movies, even though this is made by Utopia. You know what I mean? Like, I do think there is already a term for... you know how, like, there's becoming a new term for a lot of indie animated like pilots on YouTube called indie slop? I do think there's already kind of sort of an indie slop we see in a lot of movies. Especially A24 slop. Which, look, I like a lot of A24 production movies, okay? I like a lot of those movies. But even I'm mad enough to admit that a lot of them do kind of follow a formula. This one does look a little more interesting. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And, you know, what do you guys think? Does Mermaid look interesting? And if you've seen this movie, like later on, you know, if you come across this video for whatever reason and watch it later, would you say this was a good representation of the movie? Please let me know, and I hope you have a lovely day. All right. You, me, and Tuscany. Why don't you, me, and go suck me? But no, seriously, let's get this started.
So let me get this straight. You mean some random rich white boy?
Shut the fuck up. Hold on. All right, let's get it going.
He's Italian.
Salute.
So some random rich spicy white boy.
Matteo.
And you think that that's a sign to fly to Italy tonight? It's not about him. He doesn't even live there anymore.
But he told me about his big old villa just sitting there.
Empty.
Don't come calling me from no Tuscan jail.
That just sounds like a bad idea. Okay, are you sure this isn't gonna turn into a goddamn horror movie? I'm just saying, dog. If some random ass Italian man talks about his empty villa, one, how many fucking Italians have villas? Okay, I feel like most of them live in a shoebox apartment. And I mean that just because of how densely populated a lot of places are in Italy, okay? Let's assume he lives in the countryside. One, I don't know how good the fucking salaries are. How good are the salaries in Italy that everyone can have a fucking villa? I don't know. I just don't trust motherfuckers. I don't know. This feels like it's just gonna end with him turning me into spaghetti bolognese. God, that was racist. Well, at least I'm not racist against other people.
First time to Tuscany?
My first time pretty much anywhere. Hello? Who leaves an engagement ring in a junk drawer?
What are you doing here? Arresti questa donna!
This is all a really big misunderstanding.
Dio mio! She's marrying Matteo!
Okay, why would you put out a fucking engagement ring? And also, why are these people stupid? I would have assumed she's just robbing the place. You know, given the fact that I said something about race earlier, I probably shouldn't start making accusations. But no, you know what I mean, right? Like, if an American was in my goddamn villa and put on an engagement ring that my son has, I'm gonna assume that motherfucker's robbing the place, regardless of anything.
Yes, I'm marrying Matteo.
Congratulazioni!
What do I do?
You can pretend to be his fiancé, or you go to prison. Either way, it's very romantic.
I mean, I can only think of one way prison could be romantic. Wait, no. I'm just reminded of that one motherfucking meme I saw. I'm just reminded of this meme, like, what was it? I should close the fucking door. Nah, I probably should. Listen, all I'm just saying is this could get kind of weird, and I don't want my roommate to think I'm any weirder than I am. But I was about to do that meme where it's like, hot a spoon, dick hard in the butt, kiss your neck, hell yeah. If you know what I'm referencing, then you are a fucking brain-rotted degenerate that deserves to be shot in the streets.
Anna, this is Michael, my nephew.
I gotta get out of here.
Oh!
Buongiorno. Gabriella wants to give you a tour of the vineyard.
Why?
Aren't you getting married there?
Oh. I'm sorry, this movie looks fucking stupid.
I used to dream of working in a place like this.
You're a chef. You belong here.
This was fun. Okay, you pretended to be the white Italian man's fiance, but ended up catching feelings for the black Italian cousin brother? Oh, this some Shonda Rhimes shit.
Who? Who the hell is Shonda Rhimes?
It's like you just suddenly turned up out of nowhere.
I gotta tell them the truth.
You got this.
Will your mama be coming?
I don't have
Una familia?
You do now. This is too much.
You deserve to live your life the way you want it.
In prison. Once again, it's one of those things where I feel like that guy entrapped him. Actually, how would you feel if the fucking twist of the whole movie was that he only got married for tax purposes and he's gonna fuck this guy? Not you know what I mean, the other guy, you know what I mean.
Is that rain?
God. Okay.
Sorry, what? Oh, sorry, I got distracted by something. Maybe I should watch this movie. But then again, if I'm only watching it for this scene, then I might as well rent it or pirate it at that point. But then again, nice theater. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay, no, I should get back on this.
You can eat, pray, and love me, baby.
Mateo, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? What are you doing here?
Well, I probably should. I wish I could get rid of this bullshit. Because how the fuck am I going to explain this? But yeah, no, You, Me, and Tuscany, yeah. It's a movie. It's a movie. Adult Samo. God, I probably should get rid of some of these plugins when I do this thing, but whatever. But yeah, what did you think of You? Actually, let me see if I can get to the title page. Actually, what was the this is the most replayed part, and I can't blame you people. I can't blame it. Not gonna lie. Let's see here. I Star. Okay, I Star. We got it. Okay, but yeah, You, Me, and Tuscany. Look, it looks stupid. It looks like fluff. But I also imagine that a lot of women would like it. I don't know. I'm not a woman. Like, in general, I'm not. So, I don't know. Look, I got distracted by that guy's abs and shit. Honestly, I could probably just look up the scene later. That said, what do you think of the trailer? Does it make you want to watch You, Me, and Tuscany, or does it just look okay? Or I don't know. I don't really care much for these kinds of movies. More of a violence kind of guy. So, let me know. And I hope you have a lovely day. Alright, so Netflix. First things first. Hello and welcome to M the Ambassador. I'm your host M, and today we'll be looking at Thrash, this new trailer for a Netflix film. I mean, he's already got 2.1 million, or sorry, not 2.1, 2 million views in 3 weeks. But let's see. Let's see if this is worth the 2 million. And I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's coming in fast. Must be a big one.
The National Hurricane Center has issued hurricane surge warnings for this area.
Just breathe.
They're saying it could be a Category 5.
That's what they always say, and then everything turns out to be fine.
Obligatory. I'm sorry, that's like literally the first thing I just thought of. It's like, oh, that's what they always say. That feels like you're just casting an omen. Let's say that is true. I don't know, man. Just it always feels like an omen whenever someone says that shit.
Jesus Christ.
Lisa, get your arm down! Go, go!
I don't think getting high is a good idea when you're pregnant. But I don't know. I'm not a masseuse or doula, maternity expert. I don't know. Whatever the fuck a pregnancy expert is. Actually, I think one of my uncles might be like a paternity doctor or maternity doctor. I don't know what the term is.
Several towns are cut off from any rescue attempts.
Hell yeah, oh, hell yeah. Natural brine. Hell yeah, brother. Even though a lot of the meat might have already been in a brine, now that I think about it. Just wash off some of the salt, you know? How you do it with pork fat, or sorry, pork salt, or salt pork. Fuck.
We're sending our prayers to the people of those towns. I can't imagine the dangers they're facing.
Are you fucking kidding me? Was that a dramatic trailer rendition of fucking Baby Shark? Yeah, no, there's no other way I could do this, man. Disgusting. Okay, let's go. Oh wait, now I see why they did it. It's because she has a baby and there's a shark. Okay, that looked like you got bit in the ass. Surprise anal. When I said I wanted my ass eaten, I didn't mean like this. Actually, believe it or not, it wasn't that the shark ate his ass. It's the fact it pulled out his anal beads. I don't know. I got no jokes. I'm a fucking disappointment to a lot of my family.
There's no people, no car.
Just a little bit away.
Sharks on the loose. In the category 5 storm. Let's move.
Big push. I am not gonna have him die before he gets to take his first breath. Here they come!
Bet you never saw this on Shark Week.
Actually, let me get a good look at that shark.
Bet you never saw this on Shark Week.
Okay, you know what? I think I got a decent look at it. Fuck, okay, you know what? Whatever, it is what it is. Okay. I mean, it's not the worst shark I've ever seen. And again, I'm not getting a good look at it. And honestly, I just don't care enough to do that. Sorry, the fucking Baby Shark trailer rendition is still getting my ass. What the fuck is this? God. More like no, I'm not gonna lie. This feels more like fucking April 1st. Yeah, Thrash. Honestly, this looks fucking stupid. Not gonna lie. Got 2 stupid movies in a row right now. But hey, you know, that's life. A loser's manual. But in all seriousness, though, I would say this looks... okay, I'll be real with you. I don't know if I would say it looks good or if it looks bad. I just don't think it just looks that... It just looks, okay? I feel like there might be some entertainment value if it plays up into how stupid it is. but not in a way where it comes off as smugly self-aware. You know what I mean? I would say I would hope it gets to the sweet spot of it takes itself like pretty much like it takes in the meta text. It takes itself so like in the text itself, it takes itself very seriously to the point of it being camp. But I also hope that there's enough self-awareness in the meta text. Actually, no, I actually don't want self-awareness. I want it to be fucking stupid, but in a endearing way, kind of like that one motherfucker from Of Mice and Men, Lenny, rather than fucking annoying stupid. Like, insert political reference here. But yeah, how does Thrash look to you guys? Does it actually look good, or does it look worse than I'm making it seem it to be? Well, let me know in the comments, and I hope you have a lovely day. Alright, so I got that recorded. I'll be honest, I don't know how I feel about Thrash, really. The thing is, I don't have Netflix, so I really can't really engage with it, but that's beside the point. Yeah, 2 mil. Oh, I fucking love this comment right here. There are truly absolutely no ideas left for movies. So, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Wasn't there like a alligator movie? Wasn't there an alligator movie called like with a similar premise? Crawl, but instead of Crocs, we have. Honestly, not gonna lie, isn't thrashing a term used more with like crocodiles than anything else? Am I wrong? No, is that not a term used more for like crocodiles and shit? I know death roll is, but what about thrash? I don't know. I feel like with thrash, I don't know how that could really relate to sharks. I might be a fucking idiot though, so let me know. But yeah, let's just get to the Christophers. Let me see here. I think it was made by either Neon or... Yeah, I guess I'll do this. So, get ready to say hello to the video audience in 3, 2... Hello, and welcome to I'm the Ambassador. I'm your host, Em, and today we'll be reacting to The Christophers, a new movie trailer. Listen, I don't know what it is. I just saw it on Wikipedia, so, you know, we'll see. But yeah, so first and foremost, let's just get into it, honestly. I really don't know what I could say other than that. Probably should have done some research. But you know what? I feel like that would ruin the surprises. Oh, sorry, let me just... There you go.
Other door.
You said this was a restoration job. It's a forgery job.
We know why you hate him.
Think of this as a way to get revenge.
This isn't about the unfinished Christophers, is it? These don't even speak of them.
Everybody knows what one original Julian Sklar from that period is worth.
I lied. You are to speak of them once, when you tell me they are no more.
Okay, so it's about art restoration. Okay, I guess that's actually a very interesting like topic that I really don't think gets talked about. With the only exception being that fuck ugly Jesus restoration statue, or not statue, painting. Echo homo. Or S. Oh yeah, it's this one, right? If I'm correct, it's meant to be because of how damaged this was. Oh. But yeah, no, this is the one I was thinking of. I mean, I think it's very interesting. I mean, this is the only time I could think of when art restoration is ever brought up. And I mean, I mean, can I get a better picture of it? Yeah. Yeah, because I think it was meant to be a restored version of this, right? Because of how badly damaged this was. Which, to be fair, that's always been... I know some people, it's kind of a ship of Theseus thing with a lot of art restoration. Thing is, I think if done... I mean, to be fair, I kind of love this and how fucked it is. Not gonna lie. I mean, it's become iconic into it of itself. But, But yeah, no, I think this is an interesting topic of restoration.
Then bring me the evidence. It's not that I don't trust you, Laurie. It's just that I don't trust you. Have you ever been betrayed, Laurie?
Honestly, it's kind of giving toxic relationship. Kind of like in Phantom Thread. So, it is what it is. But I also feel like it's going to be one of those things of, well, he's trying to mentor her into being, I don't know. It is what it is.
I was hired by Barnaby and Sally to complete the unfinished Christophers.
And what makes you think that you could do it?
I guess that's where the art of it comes in.
Oh, Pooh.
Oh, like Pooh Bear? Also, let me make sure it's the right guy I'm thinking of. Oh, yes! It's Ian McKellen! Yes, 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 yes! I love him! Sorry, I had to fanboy out a bit. I am no better than the people I criticized in my fucking Mario review, didn't I? God. I should not have eaten that much pasta. That was a bad idea.
The first Christopher series, there's a delicacy, colours warm with each successive layer. In the third and fourth, the light got denser and the oils thickened. There was a liftedness. You were falling in love, and for the first time, you were free.
I have a relationship with the canvas. And when I've said what I've got to say to it, that's it goes.
Where do you think it goes?
I thought that I'd seen it before. Did I cause you to quit?
Who you want? You can take them out, you can burn them.
Don't leave me. Even after all of the mess, I should have liked to have lasted. To last in the mind of others.
Sorry, I was just kind of engrossed by this. Honestly, this looks very interesting. I brought up award slop, indie slop, whatever. I feel like this is one of those times where I will say this though, I do think they're going to try and go for awards. But I mean, I think in the process, it's going to look like a really good movie. You know what I mean? I think the Christophers already looks interesting.
I was once in a throuple, back when it was merely called infidelity.
No, never mind.
But yeah, honestly... Oh, let me get rid of this. There you go. This man's kind of freaking... Okay. So yeah, the Christophers. It looks like an interesting film. Mind you, it looks like one of those films where most of it's going to be kind of carried by its two... Mind you, it's obviously meant to be a character study. So, I mean, it'd be an interesting one to see. And I mean, these actors look amazing. And I'll be honest, the lady is very pretty. So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where I was supposed to go with there. But, yeah, I think this looks pretty interesting. Hopefully I can actually get a chance to watch this, though I kind of doubt I will. But it is what it is. So, what do you guys think? Does The Christophers look like a good movie, or do you think it just looks like award season slop. Let me know, and I hope you have a lovely day. How about this? I think after this, I think I'm going to take a small little break, a small little intermission. So yeah. The Beast. Let me get that. Alright. Alright, chat. Say hello to the next, you know the fucking drill by now. And 3, 2. Hello, welcome to M the Ambassador. I'm your host, M, and today we'll be reacting to Beast, the official trailer by Lionsgate Movies and all that motherfucking thing. Okay, let's go.
Why do we train so hard? So I can breathe.
Sorry it was a little choppy there. Let me... And I'm not even doing it, but I think it was just choppy because of all this bullshit I was doing. Also, let me just... There we go.
Why do we train so hard? So I can breathe. Why do you need to breathe? So I can think. Why? If I can breathe, I can think. If I can think...
Okay, so already, this looks like already it's about MMA, which I kind of wonder how many people are into MMA. I actually like it as a sport. Because I'd actually played a lot of the UFC 2 game on the PS4 a lot. I mean, to get UFC 3 or whatever the new one is. But then again, because it's EA Sports, I'll be honest, it's probably like a lot of slop now. I also remember the Bellator game. That was a good one. I forgot what it was. Oh, I mean, it was more boxing related, but Fight Night 3, that was a great game. Or was it around? No, it was Fight Night 3. I think it was the one that was sponsored by Burger King. That was kind of a bit of a bizarre thing to include. Look, I get it, right? I mean, Michael Jordan, I mean, I think he's associated with McDonald's. And that during his tenure as a basketball player, he, what was it? That's it, Michael Jordan, right? That he, during his tenure as a basketball player, I do know that he was sponsored by McDonald's quite a bit. But, I just think it was funny that a game about boxing was sponsored by Burger King. Burger King. Beat it your way. I don't know.
I can win. That's the way, boy. Come on.
Now let's get it all in perspective.
You are one of the greatest MMA middleweights of all time.
Come on!
Now you're working on a fishing trawler.
Okay, so it's about like a rise, fall, and maybe rise again sort of movie. That's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting premise. Also, middleweight. Look, not to be this guy, but you ever seen welterweights? Or welterweights, I think is what they call them, or featherweights? Seriously, they are like... Seriously, it is funny that people always bring up heavyweight champion, heavyweights. Motherfucker, you ever seen like literally anyone below their class in the heavyweights? Those motherfuckers are like goddamn fucking explosive, I'll tell you that. But yeah, no, I think this would be an interesting... I mean, already, like, it's already a fixation of mine, MMA. So it's like, I do think I'd enjoy it. Already, I do think this is already kind of tipping the scale for me.
Not a fighter anymore. Your brother has some debts that need attention. Come out of retirement. Fight the world champion. Or else we burn down your world.
I need 6 months.
You have 7 weeks.
Okay, so 7 weeks to get back in shape, do all that stuff. Oh, and also, we're going to kill your fucking brother. Once again, I think this is a very good sell for the movie. I think they're doing it very well. Although I will say this, this is more because I'm a reactor and all that. Reactionist, or whatever you want to call me. Reactionary, I don't know. I do kind of wish that they didn't have so much copyright music. Because it's going to make my life a lot harder during the editing process.
Now let's get it all in perspective.
I took a fight.
When's the last time you trained?
It's been a while.
Got no engine, no urgency. You like wasting my time.
Let me ask you something, man to man. What kind of little bitch are you?
I'm the guy that's gonna knock your ass out.
Oh, they definitely got the trash talk correct. I'm the man who's gonna fuck you in the ass. You ever seen? Actually, hold on. Let me see here. You ever seen that one video of like the guy who during like a fight, like before, like when they do like they touch gloves, right? He kisses the guy. That's funny. That was funny. Let's see here. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I mean, not this one.
Brixton bully, slide with a body, man, hold two from the woody.
Like, was that an overreaction? Yes. Maybe. I don't know. Well, you gotta admit, that is funny. Just, motherfucker. Well, one, that's just unprofessional, in my opinion. Look, I get it. You know, you get up in people's faces, you trash talk, but come on. You save the kissing and fucking for later. Okay? Goddamn.
I fought for my life every day. Put on a show. No excuses.
Oh, it's one of the Hemsworths nobody cares
Every day.
about.
Put on a show. No excuses. There's two people that know who are going to win this fight. There's you, and there's me.
You know I click back where you and your men's at.
What's the fight plan? Punch that punk in the face. It's a good plan.
I mean, look, as much as people do kind of like characterize, I think, a lot of MMA as like meatheadedness, you know, just two fucking beasts, fucking mandrakes beating the shit out of each other. You know, you do actually have to think. You have to strategize. You have to use strategy. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, listen, I'm not going to say that a high IQ correlates with being in MMA. I'd actually even argue far from it. But it's not just mindless beating, okay? It actually takes a little bit of, like, at least some battle knowledge. Battle IQ, like Goku has. Actually, wait.
Yo, my mood is real rude. I lay you out, show you what still do. Monsters don't box my pump shot.
Patton James out of retirement for the shot he never got. This fight is all about redemption. If I can breathe! If I can breathe!
It's always the nastiest.
I can think! I can think!
I'm a leader at last.
Can he continue fighting?
Get him, baby!
If I can think! If I can think!
I'll show you what still do.
And I can win!
Okay, you know, I thought we were going to kind of like spoil it in the trailer. And to be fair, I do think that maybe they should have kept it a little more vague at the final fight. Because I think it was actually a very effective one. Would have just been like, you know, if they have a scene, right, where, you know, they do the touch gloves, where they touch gloves, right? I think it would have been more effective. And then title sequence, Beast. Also, I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of hate the title for this movie. It's honestly just a little too generic for me, honestly. Beast. What, like Beast Wars? Rise of the Beasts? Beast Burger? Mr. Beast? Mr. Beast! But no, in all seriousness, I was like, it just sounds kind of vague to me, you know? I think they could have called it, honestly, even just putting The Beast. I think that's the reason why I want to call it The Beast. It's because that just sounds more like a title to me rather than just Beast. I don't know. Maybe I just don't get it. But whatever. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, what do you think of Beast? Does this trailer make the movie look interesting? If so, let me know. And I hope you have a lovely day. Let me see if there's anything more in here. Okay, it was barely anything, honestly. But yeah, Beast. Like I said, it looks cool. And look, I'm a fan of MMA. I enjoy MMA. But even I will tell you this: if it's not that, look, like, it's just one of those things of it looks okay. I think that's what I had to get at. I know it took a long time for me to even like spit that out, but yeah, it looks fine. You know what, I'll be honest, I think I'm gonna take a small like intermission for this. Get some water, stretch and all that. But after that we will react to the trailer for Faces of Death. Alright? Sound good? Alright.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Now to pause and refresh. For your convenience, we have an attractive refreshment stand in the lobby with buttered popcorn, golden good and hot from the popper, your favorite candies, wholesome and rich with a flavor treat for every taste, ice cream and other good things to eat, plus delicious Coca-Cola. So bright and bracing with the tang and tingle unmatched by any other beverage. Enjoy ice-cold Coca-Cola at our refreshment stand right now.
this way, just step right into the greatest show on earth. In the center ring, our top attraction, your money's worth. Come see the dancing elephants, the biggest thing on wheels. Ah, the little boy's first circus. I wonder how it feels. With wonder does this magic land fill his whitened eyes. Look now, there the zebras. This show's a real surprise. The polar bears arrive on cue. On bikes they sally forth. They're mighty cool, but then it's true. They're from the frozen north. And now the clowns will stop the show with your most kind permission. A rocket blast so you will know it's time for intermission.
Nine minutes to go to showtime.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a private mountain.
But I only wanted it.
This mountain is reserved for patrons of drive-in theaters.
But
it's a supply depot for all sorts of good things, which people can get at the snack bar, like soft drinks, hot dogs, good hot coffee, candy bars of all kinds, delicious popcorn, and refreshing ice cream treats.
But I am a patron of this drive-in.
Well, why didn't you say so? Be our guest.
Minutes to go to showtime. It's time to stretch and fetch. See what's cooking at our refreshment counter. You'll find your favorite foods and beverages, plus many new goodies to tempt your appetite and add to your evening's pleasure. Everything's the finest quality. So treat yourself Now, how about a pizza? None better anywhere. Sizzling hamburgers grilled to your taste. Try a terrific hot barbecue sandwich. Crispy hot fresh French fries. Seven minutes to go to showtime.
Ah, hello there. Give the demonstration of my new invention, the Goodies Machine. Special for patrons of this drive-in, the machine turns out delicious hot doggies one after the other. And thirst-quenching sodas also. Gives popcorn of the most tasty kind, plain unbuttered. Candy too, crunchy and dandy. Steaming hot coffee and ice cream too. These goodies are at a snack bar just waiting for you. Mmm.
6 minutes to go to showtime. We've a large assortment of freshly made sandwiches. Mouth-watering chili dillies. Sparkling soft drinks. Popcorn rich with hot melted butter. Steamed or grilled hot dogs. All kinds of candy. Five minutes to go.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
Father, I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Faith in there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream, piping hot coffee, delicious hot dogs. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar of their drive-in theater.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
Alright, we're back. Sorry it took me a while, you know. I don't know. Then again, I think that was relatively quicker than the last intermission we did. Honestly, I might consider like not doing the ones where it goes 10 minutes, you know, all that stuff. Maybe just a compilation or something. But yeah, no. Finally, for one of the, I would imagine, main attractions. One of the main attractions. Faces of Death. So, you know the drill. Going live. Well, recording in 3, 2. Hello, and welcome to M the Ambassador. I'm your host, M, and today we'll be reacting to Faces of Death, the trailer. So first and foremost, if you don't know what this is, it's apparently it's based off of the original movie from I think it was the 70s. Oh, sorry, let me just there you go. Oh yeah, I was right, the 70s. Pretty much the idea was just how you say, if I'm correct, it was one of those things where it just showed a bunch of kind of proto snuff films. I don't know how to describe it. It's one of those things where a lot of it was faked, of course, except there were some real life deaths. that were sprinkled into the movie. It was I don't know how to describe it. I have never seen it. I just know it because of how infamous the movie is, pretty much. And this is meant to be sort of like, I'm not going to say like they're going to do the exact same thing. It's more that it is inspired by the original Faces of Death. And apparently it has Miss Charlie XCX as a part of it. So, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, no, it does that sometimes.
Here at Kino Moderation, we protect people. The young, the innocent. When you come across content that violates policy, flag it and move on.
Okay, so it's going to deal with content moderation. I think moderation has sort of become a very big topic as of late, mostly because of, it's kind of some bullshit that was allowed. It's one of those things where I understand the need for moderation, but the thing is, given how much metadata is uploaded to the internet every single day, it just is impossible to get all of it. You know what I mean? That's and especially with like live streamers and whatnot. I think especially in the age of things like Kick and other like live streaming platforms, I think moderation has become a little harder. Plus, I mean, there's no real good solution for it. Let everything there. Okay, you're letting snuff films on there. Okay, well then, of course, snuff films, child porn, all that stuff, right? Okay, so we're then gonna try having only moderate, legal things, moderate illegal things. Okay, great. How many people are you gonna what's the system you're going to use for that, right? There's also issues of copyright. I mean, I remember when I was younger, one of the ways that people used to get past copyright was, to literally show entire movies or plays, was literally just by making a 500 million cuts, pretty much 15-second snippets of it. I remember that's how I watched one of the Star Wars movies that way. I think it was Return of the Jedi. That's how I watched Return of the Jedi one time. Literally, I have vividly remember a scene where it was just literally Luke looking outside of looking outside of a window, and that was the entire fucking video. But the thing is, you did it in a playlist where it just showed you the entire fucking movie. So on the one hand, I get why, this is a hot button issue. Also, is that? So she's using Windows 11, but she has a background that looks like XP. Sorry, that just kind of caught me off guard a bit, but that's beside the point. So I understand that. But, let's say you have a person do that. Honestly, a lot of people who do content moderation, I've actually heard is a pretty fucked job to do. Because either you are exposed to so much bullshit that you just cannot stay in that fucking field all day. You know what I mean? You just gotta leave at some point. In fact, I actually heard content moderators are is he actually one of the highest lowest retention jobs out there. Most people do not it's a high turnover, I think is what I was trying to get at. So I do think being a movie about that is interesting. And I'll be honest, I do think they used Faces of Death mostly because it's it's a recognizable name. I even know about it because I'm in more filmy circles. But still, let's go.
You may be tempted to look into it outside of work, but don't even think about it if you can help it.
Now it is time to witness the many faces of death.
What's up? I've been seeing these videos, all based off this old horror movie called Faces of Death.
Oh yeah, that was kind of the conceit of it too in this movie, was that it wasn't just that not only was it using the name for it, but that the killers in this movie was inspired by it. I think that's an interesting premise, I suppose. Though I really do think they just didn't want to do a straight up remake. Well, to be fair, you couldn't do a straight up remake of it. You literally showed some motherfuckers die in the movie. And let's be real, given the controversy that Alec Baldwin went through, I kind of doubt you want to kill people on camera.
You think this could be real executions?
Leave it up. Support the trend. That is the first rule of content creation. Give the people what they want.
Oogity boogity.
Many faces of death.
You need to listen to me about these videos.
The hell?
You need to listen to me.
Sorry, I was about to say, is homeboy twerking? Fucking shaking that ass. Chicken. Also, that is not a great disguise. I mean, unless that's the point, it's not a great disguise. But brother, I think I can see your hair. I am 99% sure it's like his boss or something, or sorry, her boss or something.
About these videos. I need to do something.
It is the attention economy. And baby, business is booming.
Many faces of death.
What are you watching?
Want to see?
Well, let me see what they're gonna do. Like, I'm gonna try and get to the. Let me see here. Aista. There we go. Yeah. So, Faces of Death. What do you guys think? I'll be honest, it looks fine enough. Kind of like, I'll admit, kind of a generic horror film. Looks kind of like a generic horror film to me, honestly. Which, look, I'm not trying to, like, denigrate it too badly. I'm just saying that it is what it is. I think the inclusion, I think at least one of the producers being Charlie XX is interesting. And I just find the name Barbie Ferreira an interesting name. So, you know. Not even for her acting, really just more that it's just an interesting name. That said, where am I going with this all? I guess overall I would just say this. So, I've never seen the original Faces of Death. It was I just know it was very infamous for its time. And I do know that, like, probably one of the most controversial parts about it was that, like, a lot of it's one of those things where it is weirdly one of those things where a lot of it was faked, but there were real, I think, real death scenes in it, and I think that's probably what they're going to go for, unless they want to do all the death scenes in it. And I do think that is sort of I do think that is sort of an interesting premise for a movie. To be fair, I've always found the idea of a snuff film as in a movie interesting. You know what I mean? That the topic of snuff films interesting, because for the longest time it was actually kind of debated on whether or not that is a real phenomenon people did. And I know what you're gonna say is like filming people getting killed. Well, no, I think what was the controversy, or what was kind of. And I think what was kind of debated was whether or not it was an active market, you know, during the VHS era, where people would film themselves like committing murders and then selling it on black markets. Actually, arguably speaking, but the thing is, snuff films are technically a real thing due to the advent of the internet, you know. Because of the advent of the internet, there is actually a black market for snuff and execution videos. The most infamous ones were ones that were circulated in a lot of forums, like I think it was I know there was like the one during the Chechenian War, I think, where a guy got his neck stabbed, and it was shown. And to be fair, during that time, there was also a lot of fake ones. And I do think this is an interesting evolution of that. That, look, because of the internet, this is a thing that people could actually, that snuff films could actually be produced, and that there could be a market for those. And I do think it's interesting how it also tackles moderation. How do websites moderate this stuff? Because they have to. Because, you know, if you don't, then you're going to have things like CP and, like I said, snuff films and other illegal stuff on your platform. Even if it, you know what I mean? And to be fair, sometimes the moderators are not great at it. You know, during when Charlie Kirk was killed, that video was circulated on TikTok. I saw the video too. This is also why I don't believe he faked his death, because that motherfucker. Look, I've seen squibs before, and I'll tell you this: as good as squibs can be, they're not that great. So look, as someone who has seen Charlie Kirk get killed, I'll tell you this. The topic of moderation is very important to talk about. And I do think kind of how easy it is for, you know, ostensibly children and teenagers, and I think just the general public, to literally, if they wanted to, I could literally go on a tour. You know, mind you, tour won't be a bad idea, but you know what I mean? Like, I could literally, like, go on a... Listen, I know people make fun of le epic dark web, but no, seriously though. People could go on the dark web and look up murder. Actually, I would even argue on the deep web. Actually, even on YouTube, you could technically look up executions and shit, man. I don't know. I just think it's an interesting, like, topic to have. And I know people do, and I know a lot of people do hate YouTube moderation, and I think Twitch, YouTube moderation, and a big part of it is just, one, a lot of times it's inconsistent, and two, copyright. Look, technically speaking, as someone who does do reactions, copyright is one of those things I had to grapple with. There's a reason why, I mean, this thing is fucking 13 minutes long as of speaking right now. Because I do actually want to make it more, transformative. And I do kind of want to have these conversations. With all that said, Faces of Death 2026. What do you guys think of the trailer, and does this movie look good? Let me know in the comments, and I hope you have a lovely day. How long have I been streaming for? Let me just check real quick. I've been streaming for about Sorry, I'm just trying to check how long I've been doing it for. Okay. I see. I've been doing this for about 2 hours now. Which, like, I don't mind doing this for a little longer. But this was, you know what? How about this? I think the rest of I'm debating on whether or not I want to do the rest of this, because I did technically do the two I needed to, that I wanted, that I did promise in the description. You know what? I think I'm actually going to end the stream right now. Just because I do think that, like, one, I mean, I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Do you guys want me to keep going, or do you think that, or do you think it'd be a better idea for me to just Yeah, you know what? I really do think I'm actually going to end the stream. So, thank you for being here, and I hope you've had a lovely day. Thank you so much for being a lovely audience.